What's up, everyone? Welcome to everyone's favorite jiu-jitsu series, The Road to Blue Belt. Make sure you watch to the end because I do have a few videos of me getting smashed at Grappling Education Sydney from some of the really awesome, talented people that I was fortunate enough to roll with there. So check that out at the end of the video. But in today's video, I want to talk about my experience visiting another gym, Grappling Education Sydney. Now, this is not really as authentic as traveling outside of my area, as in going like on a holiday or something and dropping into a completely random gym that I have no affiliation with. Unfortunately, I knew the instructor. The instructor is a good friend of mine, Jeremy Skinner. He's a coach at this particular gym. So he invited me and a friend of mine along, hence why I have the footage. So we could experience a different way of training and have a go training on an open mat with him. When I showed up, I didn't really know what to expect. I've been to that gym before, which does help, but never to actually train. It was always to film things for Jeremy or just to do some drilling with Jeremy or training just one-on-one. But in a class environment, there was a whole bunch of people. It was quite a packed gym. Which was great. It was a really good experience, but I just want to talk about some things that I learned in visiting another gym and what I would do differently if I was to go again or go to a different gym outside of my area. First thing I would do is obviously check in advance if I was able to attend that gym and hit up the instructor, hit up the owner of the gym and make sure it's okay. In this case, Jeremy invited me and he was coaching at the time, so it was all good across the board. But if I was to go to a gym outside my area, I would definitely give a bell, shoot a message on Instagram or Facebook or what have you, and touch base with the gym to make sure it's all good. Now, another thing that I would do is ask about what the etiquette is in terms of what you can wear. Now, this is something I've only realized in doing a little bit of research for this video, is that some gyms require you to wear a rash guard under your gi. Now, as you can see from the footage, we were training no gi, as Jeremy is a no gi specialist. One thing at my gym that I thought was universal, which apparently isn't, is we don't have to wear a rash guard underneath our gi, but some gyms make it a requirement due to personal preference, hygienic reasons, or what have you. I had no idea this was a thing. So understanding that now, I would definitely bring a rash guard and a couple of spare gis just in case. Now, the reason I say a couple of spare gis, again, I didn't realize this was a thing, but some gyms have specific gi colors for specific days. I had no idea. In my gym, we can wear a white, a blue, or a black gi. No colored gis are normally allowed, but my coach is pretty chill. If there was someone that's coming in from out of town and they had a colored gi on, he would by no means not let them train. But for people that attend regularly, for people that belong to that gym, we have to wear the three colors. Now, another thing that I learned, and this is probably the biggest sort of lesson out of this, because we were in no gi, I had no idea what anyone's experience was or what anyone's belt was. Without actually asking them before we rolled or before we started drilling or before we did any specific training, I had absolutely no clue where they were at unless they were wearing a ranked rash guard, which only a handful of people were. Now, on the flip side, I personally was not wearing a ranked rash guard. I was wearing my bulletproof for BJJ rash guard, which is black. So in their perspective, they had no idea who I was, no idea what my experience level was either. In hindsight, if I was to go again or go to a new gym and it is no gi, I would 100% wear a ranked rash guard, which is my white Alliance rash guard. I mean, everyone was really great at Grappling Education. Everyone was fantastic. They really looked after me. No one tried to smash me or go crazy or anything like that. But I think it's, from my perspective, it might be a sign of respect or a sign of, not coming in to try and, be a big dog or anything. I'm a bloody white belt. Who am I big dogging anyway? But to wear the ranked rash guard is letting everyone know, hey, look, I'm a white belt. So, you know, if you're much more experienced than me, just keep that in mind when we're rolling. And yeah, so just like a heads up for them would have been great. So I think in hindsight, I definitely should have wore a ranked rash guard. I mean, I was telling people I'm pretty inexperienced, and I was telling people I was a white belt, but I mean, I shouldn't have to, you know, have to broadcast that. The rash guard should do it for me. So that's a lesson I definitely learned, is to wear a ranked rash guard just to let everyone know when we're about to roll, like, hey, I'm a white belt, so don't hurt me. But one thing I learned is it reinforced to me how powerful jiu-jitsu is, because if I saw any of these people just on the street, I wouldn't think twice. I wouldn't think like, oh man, that guy or that girl looks like an absolute killer. But when I was rolling with them, particularly one guy who was he had 15 years experience. He was a very experienced black belt, competes at a high level. He absolutely dominated me, and he was going so easy, so light, as you can expect, a very experienced black belt versus, you know, very junior white belt here. But if I saw that guy on the street, I probably wouldn't think twice. Don't get me wrong, he's fit and everything, but it just really emphasized the fact to me that jiu-jitsu is a modern day superpower. If you stuck around and watched the video for this long, I really appreciate the support. Please feel free to give me a thumbs up on the video and consider subscribing to the channel if you want to see more content like this in the future. And enjoy the montage of me getting smashed at Grappling Education.